I do it. So the other day I drew an example of a bar, and if I just look at one piece of this bar, what's it equal to? 1/2. If I give you half of my half, how much are you going to get? 1/4. So you guys know that 1/2 of 1/2 is 1/4. 1/2 of 1/2 is the same as multiplying 1/2 times 1/2. With decimals, it's the same as doing 5/10 times 5/10, and it's equal to 2/500. You remember when we talked about that? Okay. So we're going to multiply decimals today and use a model. I'm not going to go over 1 because I'm just going to show you what it looks like using tiny pieces. So if you see a math word problem and it asks you to find out what 4/10 of is, that problem wants you to multiply 4/10 times 4/10. You need to be able to recognize this because within the word problem, that's your clue as to what operation you're doing. So to show this with a model, I've shown it to you with a strip diagram. It's harder to do with these numbers. I'm going to lightly shade in 4/10. And I'm going to shade it in vertically first. It doesn't matter if you do it vertically or horizontally. It's the exact same thing. I'm going to shade 4/10 in this way. If you're coloring really dark, this is not going to work well. So my first step is to shade 4 columns down, and then I'm going to take my second color and I'm going to shade it in horizontally. So when I shade 4/10 this way, if you've done it correctly, you're going to have an area that you shade in 2 times. So I'm going to do 4/10 one way, I'm going to do 4/10 the other way, and I'm going to create this area in the corner where there's an overlap of 2 colors blended together. This overlap piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Those 1600ths is your answer. Now, the last crew said, well, why don't I just do 4 times 4 is 16? I know it. Sometimes they're going to give you a picture and have you pick the equation that matches the picture. If you don't understand how to use the model, can you pick the right option? No. If you don't know how to read the model, they're going to give you 4 equations that look like it could make sense, and you're not going to know how to do it unless you know how to make them. Okay? So when you're doing this, you're showing that 4/10 of 4/10 is this tiny little piece, just like I did with my candy bar. 1/2 of 1/2 is 1/4. This is my answer. This is my tiny piece that I'm looking for. This one is 1600ths. Now, sometimes they will color it a different direction. they will all not look this exact same way. So you need to be prepared for a picture that could have it going the other way. If I want to show 5/10 of 6/10, I could shade 5/10 horizontally first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shade this whole section horizontally. See how I did that? And then take my second color and color 6/10 this way. Is there a rule that says I have to start on the left side of the box?
No.
Nope. Be careful how many rows you're coloring. If you're going too fast and scribbling this in on any of the modeling exercises, it is super easy to make a mistake. So be really careful if you're going quickly. You need to be sure that you're actually coloring in the right number. And after I get done coloring in 5/10 and 6/10, I've created an overlap. The overlap on the model questions like this is your answer. I can count these squares out, and I know I'm going to get 30. And you guys know how grids work and arrays work. I can multiply the length times the width and find the area of any rectangle. That's my answer. And 30/100 is equal to 3/10. Do you see, friends? Now, are we going to spend nights and nights doing our homework this way?
No.
No. Did I show you the shoes? You need to be able to tell that it's a pair of shoes that you could use for multiplication if they give it to you. So on this next one, I'm going to color in the rows, and I want you to write the problem and the answer. I'm not going to tell you what the next one is, but I want you to copy it. So on this one, you're copying mine, and now you're going to be expected to write the problem that matches my model. And just for clarification, I'm going to draw a box around that corner in case the overhead isn't projecting what I want it to.